Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tear apart everything you think you know about wealth. We're diving into the surprising secrets from the legendary book, The Millionaire Next Door.
Okay, before we get into any of the research, let's just do a quick thought experiment. I want you to picture a millionaire. Go ahead. What do you see? What pops into your head? I'm willing to bet you're seeing flashy stuff, right? Luxury cars, designer clothes, maybe a huge mansion. It's all about that extravagant lifestyle, the high-flying career. I mean, that's the image we're fed constantly on social media and in the movies. It's what we're basically told wealth is supposed to look like.
But what if that entire picture is just wrong? Because the research in this book doesn't just question that image, it absolutely shatters it. It turns out the reality of how most people actually build their wealth is completely different. And honestly, it's way more interesting.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's meet the real millionaire next door. And trust me, it's probably not who you're picturing.
So check this out. It's like there are two totally different games being played. On one side, you've got the Hollywood millionaire. They make a lot of money, sure, but they spend just as much on stuff that loses value. You know, fancy cars, the latest gadgets. It's all about looking rich. But then you have the millionaire next door. They're focused on high savings. Their goal isn't to impress anyone. Nope. It's to buy things that grow in value, things that build real, actual freedom.
And here's the big secret. Most of these real millionaires, they're hiding in plain sight. They live in normal houses, in normal neighborhoods. They get rich quietly because they figured out the most important rule. Wealth isn't about what you spend, it's about what you keep.
So you might be wondering, how am I doing on this front? Well, the book gives us this incredibly simple little formula to see where you stand. You take your age, multiply it by your income before taxes, and then just divide that whole thing by 10. That number? That's what your net worth should be, based on their research for someone in your shoes.
And based on that one calculation, you fall into one of two camps. If your net worth is higher than that number, congratulations. You're what they call a PAW, a prodigious accumulator of wealth. If it's lower, you're a UAW, an under-accumulator of wealth. And the key thing to get here is that it has almost nothing to do with how big your paycheck is. It's all about what you do with it.
Okay, so how do you become a PAW? What's the secret sauce? Well, it's not a secret. It's a playbook. Let's break down exactly how they do it.
Now, this is not some get-rich-quick nonsense. It's a set of rules built on rock-solid discipline. Think of it like a game plan. First, you play defense. You live below your means. That's rule number one. You budget like you mean it, and you completely ignore the pressure to buy flashy stuff to keep up with the Joneses. Then, you play offense. You take the money you've saved and you invest it, consistently. And for a lot of these folks, they own their own business, which gives them way more control. It's a whole system, you see.
And this right here, this is the whole mindset shift. It's everything. Wealth is not about how much you earn, but how much you keep and grow. That's the idea that separates the high-income spenders from the people who actually build lasting wealth. It's not your salary, it's your savings rate and your discipline. Period.
And here's where they put their money. It's actually really simple. They pour their cash into things that grow in value over time. We're talking stocks, real estate, their own business. These are appreciating assets, and they actively avoid the other side of the ledger, the depreciating assets, the fancy cars, the designer clothes. That stuff is a wealth killer, not a wealth builder.
Okay, so why? Why all this frugality and discipline? It sounds kind of boring, right? I mean, what's the point? It's not about just having a giant pile of cash. The goal is something so much bigger, so much more valuable.
And that goal is financial independence. For the real millionaire, money isn't for buying more things. It's a tool for buying one thing: freedom.
And what does that freedom actually look like? Well, it's freedom from worrying about bills every month. It's the freedom to actually spend time with your family. It's the freedom to chase a passion or walk away from a job you hate. At the end of the day, it's about buying peace of mind. And that is the ultimate luxury, isn't it? The one thing you can't buy in a store?
All right, there's one last really critical piece to this puzzle, and it's all about making sure the wealth you build becomes a blessing for your kids, not a curse.
The authors have this great term for a major trap that wealthy families fall into: economic outpatient care. Basically, it's when parents keep giving their adult kids money to support their lifestyle. And look, it comes from a good place, but the data is clear. It often does more harm than good. It can make them dependent, and it stops them from learning how to build their own wealth.
So, what's the right way to do it? The book says you don't pass on the money, you pass on the values.
You teach them discipline and responsibility from day one. You never, ever let them think they're rich. You push them to achieve things on their own. The goal isn't to raise a trust fund kid, it's to raise another PR.
And you know, this might be the most powerful takeaway from the entire book. Wealth isn't just for Wall Street traders or tech CEOs. It's built every single day by people with normal jobs, teachers, entrepreneurs, electricians, who just have extraordinary discipline. It means this path to financial independence, it's open to pretty much anyone who's willing to commit to it.
So after all this, the book kind of leaves us with one last really big question to ask ourselves. And it's a tough one. When you look at your own life and your own finances, are you building real wealth? Or are you just building the appearance of it?